Yo, what's up, Dodgers Nation and MLB maniacs? If you're not glued to your screen right now, you better be, because this is the bombshell that could shatter the offseason. Picture this. Kyle Tucker, the Astros' elite outfielder, the guy who's been crushing it even in a down year, just had secret meetings with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, you heard that right. The Dodgers, the Mets, and the Blue Jays are the final three suitors in Tucker's free agent frenzy, and LA just locked in a sit-down with the man himself. But here's the kicker. With Tommy Edman's ankle surgery rehab hanging in the balance, the Dodgers might be forced to pounce on Tucker to plug a massive hole in their outfield. This isn't just a rumor. It's a conspiracy unfolding in real time, and fans are already losing their minds. Front offices are scrambling, rivals are raging, and the league's balance? It's about to tip into chaos. Let's dive in, because if this lands, the Dodgers could be unstoppable, or is this all part of a bigger, darker plan to dominate MLB? Buckle up, folks. We're about to expose the truth. Alright, let's break this down step by step, because what we're seeing here is pure off-season madness, the kind that makes your blood boil and your conspiracy theories run wild. Just days ago, on January 6th, a league source dropped the hammer. The Mets, Dodgers, and Blue Jays are the most aggressive teams chasing Kyle Tucker. Nothing's imminent, but there's daylight between them and the rest of the pack. We're talking miles, not inches, with teams like the Padres or Phillies left in the dust, scratching their heads. Fast forward to now, and boom, another bombshell from Jim Duquette. All three teams have met with Tucker either in person or over Zoom, as part of this high-stakes recruiting circus. The Dodgers are all in, folks. This came out of nowhere for some, but not for us. We've been watching the Dodgers pivot from Bob Bichette to Tucker like a chess master flipping the board. And why the outrage? Because Tucker's market is collapsing to these three spenders, with projections hitting $40 million AAV over 8 years. But the Dodgers? They're whispering about shorter, sweeter deals, no long-term handcuffs, just pure firepower. People are furious because this screams manipulation. Is Tucker being steered toward LA to fix their injury woes, or is there a conspiracy to stack the deck against the rest of the league? Rhetorical question time. How did we get here so fast? Was it the Edman injury that lit the fuse, or something more sinister like front office whispers in the dead of night? Let's unpack it. The reports are piling up, and the tension is building like a storm cloud over Chavez Ravine. Here's the crazy part. Just a week ago we were speculating on a dozen teams, but now it's down to 3 and the Dodgers are front and center. Fans are texting me, is this real? Yes, it is, and it's about to get wilder. Let's rewind and set the stage, because you can't understand the shock without the backstory, and trust me, this one's got layers like an onion. Peel it back and you'll cry tears of rage or joy. Kyle Tucker? This guy's a beast, a 27-year-old outfielder who's been the Astros' cornerstone since 2019, racking up all-star nods and MVP whispers. We're talking a guy who hit .284 with 29 homers and 112 RBIs last season, even in what Savant calls a down year. His WAR? Hovering around 4.0, elite, folks, the kind of number that makes scouts drool. Born in Tampa, drafted by Houston in 2015, Tucker's evolved from a raw prospect to a five-tool marvel, with a swing that's poetry in motion. And the Dodgers? Oh man, they're the gold standard, 3-time champs, loaded with stars like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani. But their front office? Ruthless. Led by Andrew Friedman, they've built a dynasty through smart, aggressive moves. Think the 2020 trade deadline haul that sparked their run. The Mets and Blue Jays? Big spenders too, but with baggage. New York's got Juan Soto hogging the spotlight. Toronto's got a history of free agent flops like Garrett Cole slipping away. The Dodgers, though, they're the dream destination. Everybody wants to win, and LA's got the track record, from Kirk Gibson's limp-off homer to Ohtani's unicorn arrival. But here's the crazy part. Tucker's been eyeing this for months, and now with these meetings it's heating up. Fans are outraged because if Tucker bolts to LA, the Astros are gutted. Their young core, built on guys like Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve, loses its edge. Conspiracy alert. Is this Friedman's master plan to poach talent while rivals flounder? And don't forget Tucker's personal side. A family man, humble off the field, but on it? A competitor who thrives in high-pressure spots. The Dodgers know how to sell that Hollywood dream, and Tucker's meetings? They're the first step in a seduction. People are furious. Imagine the Astros fan base heartbroken over losing their homegrown star to the enemy. What do you think? Is Tucker ready for the bright lights of LA? Now, let's get conspiratorial, because this reeks of strategic manipulation, the kind of shadowy dealings that make you question if MLB's a league or a rigged game. Why Tucker now? Why these three teams? Look at the timing. Tommy Edman's ankle surgery from the offseason has no timeline, and Brandon Gomez is only optimistic he won't miss a big chunk of the season. The Dodgers are playing it safe with their stars, but Edman's rehab could leave a gaping hole in center field. And who benefits? Tucker sliding in like a glove. But is this a coincidence? Nah, this feels like a calculated pivot orchestrated by Friedman's inner circle. Reports say the Dodgers prefer short-term deals over 8-year commitments, which lines up with Tucker's potential desires. Maybe he wants flexibility, or perhaps the Dodgers are dangling tax advantages in LA's paradise. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays are pushing long-term, and the Mets are in the mix but distracted by their own drama, like Soto's massive contract-eating payroll. Here's the intrigue. League sources are whispering that the Dodgers meeting was a charm offensive, virtual or in person. They've got the pitch down. We've seen it before. Players like Ohtani chose LA after wooing sessions that felt like VIP red carpet events. Is Tucker being manipulated into a Dodgers jersey to create a super team? Or is this the Astros' way of forcing a bidding war, leaking info to drive up offers? People are furious, calling it an imbalance, the rich getting richer with the Dodgers as the puppet masters. Rhetorical question. Are the Dodgers conspiring to break the league, or is this just smart business? Imagine the backroom deals, Friedman on the phone with Tucker's agent, whispering promises of rings and riches. And what about the other teams? Are the Mets using Soto as bait to lure Tucker away from LA? The Blue Jays, with their new ownership flush with cash, might be the wild card. Fans are speculating on forums. Is this all planned to weaken the AL West? It's chaos and it's only getting started. Here's the crazy part. If Tucker signs short-term, it could be a trial run with an extension later. But the conspiracy deepens. What if the Edman injury was foreseen, part of a larger strategy? Drop your theories in the comments. Is this manipulation or destiny? Let's compare this to past chaos because history rhymes, and it's screaming right now like a broken record of MLB scandals. Remember the Astros sign-stealing scandal? That was Conspiracy Central with buzzers and trash cans, and now Tucker's exit feels like payback or escalation, Houston star fleeing to the team that exposed them. Compared to Shohei Ohtani's Dodgers deal, another short-term monster that supercharged LA, turning them from contenders to conquerors overnight. Or look at the Mets Soto signing. Long-term, flashy, but now Tucker's eyeing if he wants to be second fiddle to a guy who's already a legend. The Blue Jays? Their free agent history is a graveyard. Think Garrett Cole ghosting them for the Yankees, or Shohei passing them by. The Dodgers, though. They're the anti-Jays, winners who deliver with a history of turning prospects into stars. This Tucker pursuit mirrors the Padres' failed Ohtani chase, aggressive, but LA's got the edge, the mystique, the winning culture. Fans are comparing it to the Yankees' dynasty days, where stacking stars like A-Rod and Jeter led to outrage over competitive balance, sparking steroid hearings and rule changes. Here's the crazy part. If Tucker signs short-term with LA, it's like the 2010s Dodgers Redux, quick wins, no regrets, but with modern twists like analytics and zoom pitches. But rivals? They're seeing red, accusing the Dodgers of front office sorcery. Rhetorical question. Is this the new steroid era where money buys dominance? Think about it. The Dodgers' 2020s run started with trades, not free agents, but now they're evolving. And Tucker's situation? It's like Carlos Correa's Mets flop, high hopes, big money, but LA could make it work. People are furious because comparisons show a pattern. The Dodgers always win the offseason wars. What past signing does this remind you of? Tell me in the comments. Alright, let's dissect the roster implications because this could reshape the Dodgers' depth chart overnight, turning their lineup into a monster that devours the league. Currently, LA's outfield is stacked. Betts in right, Ohtani roaming, Pages emerging, Hernandez providing power. But Edman's injury? It's a wild card, ankle surgery rehab is tricky, and Gomez optimism feels like a dodge. If he's sidelined long-term, center field opens up, and Tucker's elite defense and speed, think 30-plus steals potential, plug it perfectly with his arm strength shutting down base stealers. Salary-wise, the Dodgers have cap space to burn. No issue with $40 million AAV, especially on a short-term deal that keeps them under the luxury tax threshold. But they're smart. Short-term keeps flexibility for future free agents like Aaron Judge or Corbin Burns. Development concerns? Pages and Hernandez get competition. Pushing growth, Pages could thrive in a platoon, Hernandez might shift to DH duties. Positional issues? Tucker could shift Edman to second base alongside Gavin Lux, boosting infield depth and turning LA into a defensive fortress. But here's the tension. If Tucker signs, does it crowd bets or Ohtani? Nah, it's additive, creating a rotation where Tucker bats cleanup, Ohtani leads off. Fans are outraged because this turns LA into an unbeatable machine, but executives love it. What if Edman returns strong? Then Tucker's a luxury, a trade chip later. Conspiracy twist. Is this the Dodgers hedging against more injuries like Betts' past woes, or forcing Tucker's hand with insider leaks? Roster dynamics change everything. Imagine Tucker in the NL West, feasting on pitcher-friendly parks. People are furious, the Dodgers are cheating the system. But analytically it fits like a glove. Rhetorical question. How does this affect the bullpen or bench? With more outfield depth, guys like Chris Taylor get versatility. It's a puzzle piece that completes the picture. But at what cost to balance? Time for the scouting report, because Tucker's not just a name, he's a weapon, a Swiss Army knife of baseball talent that could redefine outfield play. Strengths? Dude's a 5-tool stud. Power, 29 hours last year, even down, his exit velocity tops 95 miles per hour. Speed, elite base running with 20-plus steals in peak years. Defense, gold glove caliber in center with a cannon arm. And contact, high OBP, drawing walks like a pro. Projections? In a full season we're talking 35-plus homers, 5-plus WAR, worth every penny, especially in LA's hitter-friendly park. Weaknesses? His down year showed some swing inconsistencies with a drop in hard hit rate, but Savant data says he's undervalued. His barrel rate is still top 5. Stats: .284/.349/.500/line, 112 RBIs, and that's with Astros struggles. Add Dodgers support and it's .300 plus easy. On the Dodgers? He'd thrive in LA's lineup, boosting OBP and run creation, pairing with Ohtani for double threat mayhem. Scouts rave, Tucker's the missing piece for a three-peat, his versatility is unmatched. But rivals? Their scouting counters, fearing Tucker's addition tips the scales. Here's the intrigue. Even in 2023 he was top 10 in WAR among outfielders, with advanced metrics like WRC plus at 140. Imagine him in Dodger Stadium, home run haven, with the crowd chanting his name. People are furious because this scouting screams imbalance. LA gets a steal, others get scraps. Rhetorical question. Is Tucker's defense the key or his bat? Both, baby, he's the total package. And in a down year he still led in certain categories. Fans are debating, overrated or underrated? You decide. Oh man, the league is erupting. Rival fans? Livid. Astros supporters are heartbroken. Tucker's their franchise guy, and losing him to the Dodgers feels like betrayal, with memes flooding Twitter of Tucker in Dodgers blue. Yankees and Padres fans? Outraged, accusing LA of stacking the deck, calling it Dodgers empire building. Media? Headlines are screaming, Dodgers plot to dominate. ESPN's got panels debating, The Athletics will salmon labeling Jays as top suitors but Dodgers lurking. Executives from other teams are scrambling with whispers of counter-moves. Phillies might pivot to other outfielders. Guardians could raid Houston's leftovers. The Blue Jays front office is fuming. They were labeled the strongest suitor by The Athletic, but Tucker's long-term preference might sideline them, echoing past flops. Mets fans? Divided, Soto's there, but Tucker's allure is undeniable, sparking Soto versus Tucker debates. Dodgers Nation? Hyped, but wary of the conspiracy with forums buzzing. Why the shock? This could make LA a 130-win monster, widening the gap. Rhetorical question. Are we witnessing the birth of a new dynasty, or the death of competitive balance? Fans are protesting on social media, executives are leaking to reporters, it's a powder keg. Here's the crazy part. Even neutral observers are outraged, fearing MLB's parity dies. What team are you rooting for in this mess? Zoom out, what does this mean for MLB? For the Dodgers, a Tucker signing boosts their three-peat odds. Koshi markets have them at 29% already, 17 points ahead of Seattle. Free agency? It signals short-term deals are king, pressuring other stars like Judge to follow suit. League balance? Disaster. The haves, Dodgers, Mets, Jays, get richer, the have-nots starve, potentially leading to rule changes like salary caps. Conspiracy angle. Is this Friedman's ploy to force revenue-sharing tweaks, or a signal of MLB's shift to super teams? For the season, expect LA to run away with the NL West, with Tucker adding 10-plus wins. Long-term? Tucker's short deal keeps options open, but it could inspire copycats. Fans are outraged because this could kill parity. No more underdog stories, just Dodgers dominance. But Dodgers loyalists?